Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Dada Afusugunda Anafadi Bas from class BA 2733B and my match number is 2024 420 So I'm here today to present subject HRM 552 Talent Executions. So today I'm here to share my discussion about on the current issue where my topic is the misalignments between Gen Z workforce expectations and traditional recruitment practice in manufacturing industry. So, in today's rapidly evolving labor markets, manufacturing industry are facing a growing challenge how to attract and retain Gen Z talents. So, the expectation of this new workforce often clash with the traditional recruitment practice that have long defined the sectors. This is because Gen Z value transparency, flexibility, technological integrations, and purpose-driven employments, and yet many manufacturing firms continue to rely on rigid hierarchy, slow hiring process, and outdated employers' plannings. And this misalignments doesn't just discourage young applicants, however, it also threatens the industry ability to secure the innovative, digital-savvy workforce that it needs to remain competitive in the era of Industry 4.0. So let's move to the factors. Now let's look at the factor behind these misalignments. First of all, it was a rigid hierarchy. So many manufacturing companies in Malaysia, like those in Penang or Selangor, they are still follow strict chains of commands. Promotions are usually based on how long you have been there, not on your skills. So for Gen Z, who value table and growth based on merit, they feel like this kind of thing is old-fashioned and discouraging. Secondly, slow hiring process. Recruitment in factory often take a long time with a lot of approval and paperwork. So Gen Z who grew up in a digital world expect fast and transparent hiring. So if the process drags on, there are will lose interest and move to the industry like tech or service that respond quicker to their needs. Lastly, outdated employers branding. Manufacturing companies usually promote stability and compliance, but they don't highlight things like innovation, sustainability, or inclusivity. For example, oil plant in Johor focus on efficiency and cost control, but Gen Z want to see a purpose, social impact, and modern value. Without this, manufacturing doesn't look attractive to them. So overall, these three factors like rigid hierarchy, slow process hiring, and weak branding are the main reason why the Gen Z expectations don't align with the traditional recruitment in manufacturing. So let's see what the impact to the factors. Now, let's look at the impact of this factor on Malaysian manufacturing industry. First of all, rigid hierarchy create a workplace culture that feels stiff to Gen Z. The result is they will give a low engagements and high turnover rates. For example, their employees often leave within the first year because they don't see any opportunity for collaborations or rapid growth. Thus, this will weaken the talent pipelines and increase the recruitment costs. Secondly, slow hiring process means that when recruitment takes a week or a month, the Gen Z candidates will lose their interest and accept the offer from a faster moving industry like tech or service departments. So what was the impact? The impact is it will sink in the talent pool for manufacturing, leaving a critical role unfilled and slowing down the production capacity. Lastly, outdated employees branding make manufacturing look very old-fashioned for the Gen Z. It is because Gen Z see the industry as lacking innovation with reduced applications and make it harder to compete with more modern, purpose-driven sectors. So overall, to the impact is impact means Malaysia manufacturing industry really risk the facing talent shortage, losing competitiveness, and falling behind in adapting Industry 4.0 technologies. So let me move to the solutions. Now, let's talk about how Malaysian manufacturing industry can overcome these miselements. There are three key solutions that can make a big difference. First of all, flatten the hierarchy and encourage collaborations. So instead of sticking to rigid seniority-based structure, the company should create a space where the younger employees can contribute ideally. For example, through mentorship programs where the seniors engineer can guide the Gen Z recruit but also listen to their fresh perspective. Another option is cross-functional teams where they can bring in together people from different departments to solve the problems together. For example, electronic manufacturer in Penang could form innovation teams that mix experienced staff with new Gen Z hires. This not only transfer the knowledge, however, it also build a culture of respect and collaborations. So the Gen Z value being heard, and when they feel included, they are more likely to stay and grow with the company. Secondly, modernize the recruitment process, where the factory need to move away from slow paper-based hirings and adopt digital-first methods. Because Gen Z grew up in a digital world, so they expect mobile applications, online assessments, and quick feedbacks. So if the recruitment take very long, they lose their interest and move to the other industry. For example, automotive firm in Selangor, like Proton or Produa, could use visual interview and AI-driven screening to speed things up. Imagine applying for a job through a mobile app, getting an online test the same day, and receiving feedback within a week. That's the kind of process the Gen Z expecting. So the faster transparent recruitment show respect for the first time, their time, and keep them engaged. Lastly, rebrand manufacturing as innovative and purpose-driven. Employees' value is more than just advertising jobs. It's also about showing what the company stands for. Manufacturing firms should highlight sustainability, inclusivity, and career growth. For example, palm oil industry in Johor could showcase their green initiative like renewable energy projects or waste reduction programs and emphasize how they contribute to the community. The Gen Z is climate conscious and socially aware that they want to work for the companies that make a positive impact. So, by communicating innovations and social responsibility, manufacturing can shift the image from old fashions to forward-looking. So this make the industry more attractive to the young talents who want meaningful work, not just for the paychecks. So these three solutions like flattening hierarchy, modernizing recruitment, and rebranding manufacturing are not just a small change. However, they can transform Malaysia manufacturing sector into a place where the Gen Z feel values, engaged, and motivated to build their career. So, in the bigger pictures, this change will help the industry stay competitive in the era of Industry 4.0. In conclusions, Malaysian manufacturing industry is really at a turning point. The old ways like rigid hierarchy, slow hiring process, and outdated brandings are now a barriers when it comes to attracting Gen Z talents. So, if the company don't change, they will face a problems like talent shortage, high turnover rates, and losing competitiveness. But if they flatten their hierarchy, modernize recruitment, and rebrand themselves as innovative and purpose-driven, they can turn this challenge into an opportunity. So at the end of the days, the future manufacturing isn't just about machines and technologies. However, it's also about peoples. So aligning with Gen Z isn't only about hiring. It's also making sure the industry stays strong and relevant in today's fast-changing world. So this is the reference that I refer to help with my discussions. So thank you for watching my video. So that's the end of my presentation on topic the misalignments between Gen Z workforce appreciation and traditional recruitment practice in manufacturing industry. So I hope that you enjoy it and learn something new. So bye bye.